And howdy, folks. Welcome to a cool edition of the Landaux Show. And it's a cool edition because I am unrevealing something I have never ever done. That I've kept under vault for years and years and years. Before Windows came out, before I ever could even afford a cam, or, back then, camcorder, I did the next best thing. I drew it out. But before I get into my treasures of storyboards from the past, let me show you something else I dug out of the same drawer. The Book of Sniglets. Remember, not necessarily the news with Rich Hall. He always had Sniglets. Well, it was kind of a, something that encouraged me to write comics. And then there was the far side. Gary Larson, man. Has his funny comics, his funny stories. That encouraged me too. Let me see. Oh yeah, this one is funny. Little Superman character flying around the lighthouse. And then, for God's sake, kill the lights, Murray. He's back again. Another lighthouse just falling all the way down. I don't think y'all could see that. Again, this cam does not get too close, and I hope it works. And then, when this started to rise up, before I had a printer, before I had a computer built, before even Windows 95 came out, with all the printers and the pics and this, you had Windows 94, but it couldn't do near as much as Windows 95. And I didn't have a printer. They didn't have any way to upload, things to today's sites like you can. Not everybody had the PC, And then here's another collectible I got. I think we got these somewhere in northern Alabama when we took our trip to the Great Smoky Mountains. This is really, really cool. I've had these since I was 10. Let's see if I can do it here. Okay, yeah, you flip it like this. It's really cool. Flip flat. And at the same time, we stopped somewhere and got that solar light panel. But I think one of these is marked mine. Wade. That's Wade's. I might have to give this to Jennifer or somebody. And mine, this is mine right here. My name's marked on everything, but I've had it all these years. And then there's Merlin. Although I can't show you how this works. Just look it up. Merlin, the electronics game. Plays tic-tac-toe. It plays poker, blackjack. All by these little LEDs. And the battery's toasted out. But moving on to the creme de la creme. My storyboards. Incidences from the past. These go back to from a period of 1983 when, as I said, the far side encouraged me. And just drawing it out, as you see it. I was really fascinated with Popeye the Sailor. I've always loved Popeye ever since I was a kid. So I drew, I was in classes. It was during study hall. If I didn't have any work to do or catch up on to, then this is what I would do. I'd draw it out. Popeye. That's the best I could. I'm not an artist, folks. I am not, as you can see, the best art. I was only 15 when I wrote this. That's my best I could do. Freehand. Popeye. I was fascinating with the Paramount logo and Paramount Pictures at that time, too. And there's a lot of them I did not get a chance to finish. A lot of them have gone. This is just miscellaneous things. A little sketch I drew out at that time when Hurricane Alicia was about to hit our house, how terrified I was. I'll get into this later. I even drew a colored one. Popeye Meets Sinbad the Sailor Part 2. This is freehand. I copied this from one of the Popeye books. So Popeye was my first it was really an experiment, now that I look back on it, that I did. Then we move on down to down the street from me. One of the neighborhood guys, or at that time kids, who really, he was a party maniac. His name was Stephen Havard. He's also the same guy that got me back into loving wrestling at that time, 1988. But I might have to continue this. Well, let me get to a part 2 of this. Maybe by the other cam. It won't be in HD. But those are my storyboards of the past. And real good, Ronnie. I'll have to explain all of these as I go. But this is just a briefing right now. Till part 2.